There we go. So let me throw you guys in. Kablamo. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is TheDannySaur alongside Liaison, and we are casting some great matchups tonight between Integrity Gaming and KLG. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Overgrowth, we have our Protoss player, Gool.
And in the bottom left-hand corner, representing Integrity Gaming, it's the yellow xIG player who, those relatively familiar with the Starcraft scene, could be a familiar name. It's Grandmaster level xIG player, PandaBearMe.
Ba-boom. Yeah. All right.
Our first
And
PvZ of the night.
yeah, that's, correct me if I'm wrong, that's kind of an early scout. I mean, that's a 10 scout.
Yeah.
He wants to know.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I'm trying to think about why. Maybe to see whether or not it's going to be like a forge or a gateway. It looks like it's going to be a gateway, or it is going to be a forge. So he's going to have to defend against a cannon rush, potentially. And it looks like he is going to go for that hatch first. And yep, as soon as he sees the forge, he pulls that drone back and he puts down a spawning pool. So that's exactly it right there. That was the logic, I think, behind that drone scout. Was he didn't want to go hatch first and get cannon rushed. So he's going the safe build with the spawning pool to avoid all that nonsense and put himself in a very safe, kind of stress-free opener.
Now, what I really want to see happen here, which won't, now that, that got blocked. That's really rough for him. Looks like he's going to take his third. I kind of just wanted to see him go all in and just super lings everywhere. But I doubt that, of course, Gool would let that happen, having this pylon up, the forge. I still wanted to see it. I just want to say that. Oh, and
hey, he's actually still building cannons down here, by the way.
Oh, and he canceled that hatch for a second.
I think he misplaced it, maybe? I'm not sure.
No, it looked like he went right back in the same spot because, like, none of the creep or anything was outside or misplaced.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, he totally has
to know. This is really cool, actually, from Gool. It could even be Gool, if you want to say so.
Mm-hmm.
But he's cannoning basically the path between the second and the third for PandaBearMe, so that he can't defend this cannon rush that's going to be going down on this third base without running through those cannons. So I have no idea what PandaBearMe is going to do here, but this is a really interesting, very well thought out build here from Gool.
Yeah, I mean, and if he doesn't see that cannon, if he doesn't have the intuition to cancel, that hatch will finish just before the cannon. He will not have a heads up. I believe it's about 850 or 900 health, which is why I had it highlighted, and he didn't put it down until about 1,000. Oh, I think. So he's got 15 seconds left and about 12 seconds. So, yeah, right when that thing pops down, kablamo. And he is going to be very upset. And I think he's just going to try to take out the pylon as quickly as possible. But the damage is kind of already done.
Yeah, this pylon being focused down the lings, how many of them are going to get killed here? A lot of them. 10 lings do fall. 11, I think, in the end when it's all said and done. 7 for one, 4 for the other cannon. And there's still the cannon, of course, at the natural. And is that Overlord going to fall? No, it's going to just barely get away. The cannon's repowered now, though. And suddenly this queen needs to run for its life. One more shot gets the queen down. His hatchery looks almost sure to fall at this point now with that second cannon coming down as well. And just what in the world can you do here if you're PandaBearMe? Now he's going for the gold.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, I get that. But, I mean, Gool, if I'm him, I know nothing can get out past these cannons without taking a lot of damage. And if he sees anything coming, he just throws a pylon and throws a bunch of buildings up, and that's kind of the end of that. So, this is
what
so
PandaBearMe
rough.
is doing now is he's basically sending lings over to defend this gold base, and he's saying, you will not cannon this base. This base will at least get down here and allow me to somewhat stabilize, as that hatchery does end up falling to the cannons. And, well, the lings will run across the map chasing down this probe, but there is, of course, a cannon, a zealot to greet them on the other side of the map. You'll see this. He sees the hatchery, obviously, or the Nexus, I should say, with the Overlord. And I think he knows he's in trouble. He's put himself in a position where he can actually play StarCraft now at the 650 mark of this game, but he's not, in a position that you would actually want to be in as a xIG by any stretch.
Oh, that is certainly true. And I have to imagine that Gool's plan from here is like a big 2-base timing. One of those, he knows that his opponent has the gold, and that's just something that you don't want it to go unchecked. You can't just simply sit back because, you know, maybe he catches up a little bit. I mean, Gool, he didn't get any tech during that time, and actually a lot of links coming in. Oh, man, if he groups these up, all right, he does see this amount of links coming in, so he'll know, and it looks like he's trying to block things off, and surprise, surprise, the links can't hop over these little tiny pipes, allegedly. So...
Yeah, and I mean, it's just a situation where the Protoss' 11 workers, well, now 8 workers as 3 drones pop out ahead of the Zerg opponent, which again, as a Zerg, is never where you want to be. The Roach Warren coming down now, the Lair as well, and I mean, can PandaBearMe like maybe come out and stabilize? We just saw a crazy game, but he's gonna have to defend this 7 gate, which is kind of what you talked about, Danny. Was just kind of go for a 2-base all in here to really put the dagger in, and he's already got those forward pylons. They're even defended
and
by cannons, so
Nidus?
he doesn't need to build any more.
Nidus.
Oh,
that's his play, and yeah, just like you said, so...
a little too late.
Yep, because the warp gate's up, and he's going to have 7 gateways worth of units at his front door. 10 seconds plus, I believe it's 8 for the transformation and, you know, warp in time. We'll say 20 seconds. He's in bad shape because both these bases are basically going to get attacked, and
it's
that's
funny
rough.
that he's still building these pylons, even though he's got like tons, and he's warping in stalkers down by that 3rd base. He's marching on forward. This gold base, don't think it's got a long life in its future, but as more and more zealots are warped in and are marching over again from that 3rd base, it's well, 22 army supply to 30 in favor of the Zerg, but it looks like both queens may fall. Mothership core dangerously low as well. 1 queen falls, but the Mothership core does as well. And now those roaches coming out. The Nidus is down in the main base here, and the gateways are chrono. Does he see the Nidus? Yeah, he does see it on his mini-map. So, well, it looks like he may just go for the counterattack here as PandaBearMe. It may be his only chance, but there are a couple zealots being warped in. They're not going to be able to handle these roaches, but is he actually going to force Gool back here?
I'm wondering if maybe he just throws up a whole bunch of cannons down, you know, at his natural and just kind of... And, well, looks like suddenly doorbell. That'll throw you off just a little bit. I'm going to throw us back on stream real quick, so we'll get you back there. But, yeah, man.
I mean, I still like Gool's position quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously up 2 xIG to the 1 hatchery. PandaBearMe just like trying to force a base trade and hoping that honestly PandaBearMe makes a mistake here, but it's certainly looking like Gool will be able to pretty comfortably take down all the only buildings left are in the main here for the Zerg player, and you have to remember, even if PandaBearMe does kill off all those buildings, you still got to go kill all those cannons and everything down on the other side of the map. Yeah,
and I mean, even the other way, I mean, if Gool just rushes in and tries to go for it, he does have to kill the Nidus. One very small thing there, but I mean, one of those things is losing that Mothership core now has actually caused him so much more damage. If he had the Mothership core, he'd say, okay, he warps home, he like kills the Nidus first, and then cleans up all the roaches, and he's, you know, golden. So it's not like devastating game-ending damage by any means, but he did do himself a little bit of a disservice.
It would have been less of a headache, yeah. I definitely agree with you there, but either way, it's looking like after a 54-minute game, under 15 minutes, this one potentially could be over here.
Yeah, and I'm looking, and it looks like they are ready to go. Let's jump back in. I just watched it on the stream because it just now came on, and I mean, that Mothership, oh god, Artosis pylon. 4 gateways and a forge unpowered. Oofda. And this Mothership core, I wonder if it should just kind of start whittling on these roaches a little bit. Oh, I see.
Yeah, well, there's the queen there that did force it away, but the roaches are going for the Nexus on the back end here, though. Just some roaches, drones being pulled off the line as well to try and do something here Spine crawlers being built as well. Is this Protoss army really being pushed back here? It looks like it may be, but again, there's still 2 Nexi to 1. Even if this Nexus falls, it's still 40 probes to 19 drones here, and then they're even on bases. Looks like these Stalkers and Zealots may get cleaned out.
Oh, one shot at the Sentry. The Sentry was just going to lock him out entirely, which was a great move, but now all of a sudden not quite the case. Running a lot of probes into it, and if I may put this simply, what is potentially happening here?
What's potentially happening is this game is not, in all likelihood, going to be sub 15 minutes anymore. But I stand by the fact that I still think that Gool is in a really good position. I give a ton of credit to PandaBearMe for making this closer, but if you're looking at it, there's still no real way for PandaBearMe to take natural or a third base. He's again stuck on 1 base. He can push out with these roaches, but there are some Stalkers and Zealots here to fight with these cannons, and he'll be able to take his natural. He's still up in workers, and again, huge credit to PandaBearMe. He did that about as well as I think he possibly could have realistically, but it's going to take a lot more if he's going to come out on top in this game.
Yeah, we'll have to see, and I mean, can you really blame him if he's just kind of going, I'm guessing, for like a roach all in, basically? I mean, maybe he can Nidus again if he's really lucky.
He's going for it. He's going for it. It's over by the gold base. He's got the Nidus, so the Nidus does help him kind of circumvent the cannons and units to get drones out onto the map if that's what he wants to do. He may just go for, he's got a drone and a roach in the Nidus worm right now, so he may be looking to take a hidden base in the top left or something like that. Or he may just take that gold base there. He's got to be careful, though. That creep may show to these Zealots from that Nidus.
And actually, it does.
He's going to go for that gold.
He does actually see the creep. It is definitely on his map. He sees a little bit on the ramp there. And, yeah, that's a tricky little maneuver. I really like that. Unfortunately, the problem with that Nidus is now that creep's on the bottom, it's going to give him away. But, I mean, there's no real way for Gool to like push up this ramp. You can't do it with all those Zealots.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a nightmare. So, well, I was incorrect.
Here comes the Nidus again.
We shall see how this goes.
The main base roach is coming out and a huge push up this main ramp here. The spine crawlers. Is there a transfuse here from these queens? It doesn't look like it. It gets focused down. Lots of sentries here for force fields as well. The Zealots running rampant. The roaches in the back here are doing damage, but there is a photon overcharge on the Nexus, so it should be cleaned up eventually. And despite a valiant effort here from PandaBearMe, he's forced to pull drones once again. Roaches taking down the Zealots, taking down the sentries, but is there just too much Protoss here, Danny? It's looking like it just might be. 63 supply to 20 and plummeting here down to 5 drones. And, well, looks like Gool may take this 3-1 lead for KLG heading into game number 5. There's the GG.